Look at here, look at here, look at here, look at here. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, awesome, outstanding. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. We got a great show lined up for you tonight, folks. As you know, we're wrapping up the conclusion of Chasing History with Mr. Dennis Joyner. And man, we have put together a great show for you tonight. Come on in, give us a thumbs up if you can see us. If you can hear us, I'd greatly appreciate it. Hey, how we doing, Bells? Welcome to the show tonight. We got something great lined up for you. It's been an eventful time. I hope everybody got a chance to look at the on-site interview I did with Mr. Joyner. We were down in Richmond, Virginia, and then we hopped down to Petersburg, down to Pocahontas Island. Had a great time. Had a great time, folks. A lot of good information was shared with everybody. It was a lot of good information, But hey, I'm not going to sit here and beat my gums all night long. It's not about me tonight. It's about Mr. Joyner, a.k.a. the mayor, a.k.a. the historian, a.k.a. Mr. Been There, Done That, and Mr. Everywhere. All right, folks, here he is. How you doing, sir?
I am doing wonderful. I don't know if I'm deserving of all those accolades, but hey,
oh man,
I appreciate it, my brother.
Hey, listen, let me tell you, man. You know, we chase each other. We literally chase each other around the country to this location, to this location. And I really enjoy it, man. It gives me that inspiration to just keep riding, you know. And I tell you, I appreciate you more than you probably know.
Yeah, because I've been noticing some of the Black history posts that you've been putting, been posting this month. I'm like, I mean, I've been to a lot of the same places, so we're probably following each other and maybe 100 miles behind each other every time we visit these places.
Right. Yes. And the thing is that it's almost like we're running the Green Book. I tell everybody, I said, the Green Book has a lot of good information, a lot of great places to visit, a lot of history. It's more than just, back row stuff, stuff from the past. It's a lot of good history, man. It's a lot of good history. So, sir, we're going to go ahead and kind of recap our on-site down in Jackson Ward. I had a great time doing it with you. I truly appreciate you giving me a tour.
Oh, absolutely. I welcome you to my backyard.
You actually grew up down there in the area, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. My entire life, all my formative years were spent in Jackson Ward up until I was probably 18 years old.
Okay.
Which was a very long time ago.
No, we're not telling on ourselves.
A very long time ago.
We're not telling on ourselves, man. But definitely was a great time down there. Just a quick little recap. If people missed it, I'm just going to show a quick little recap. You kind of see maybe people in this was down at the Maggie Walker house down there. Walking down these streets. The big hats. The women wore the big hats. Right.
Yeah, definitely. Now there's some other sites around here as well.
Absolutely. So again, we're in Jackson Ward, which again is the, or at least was the kind of the African American cultural hub in the city. And on 2nd Street or 2nd Street, you could find, Black-owned restaurants, speakeasies, clubs or whatever. Back in the day where, if you wanted to go somewhere to have some entertainment
right
in the Richmond area, this is the place where you would actually.
Oh, man. You see, that's what I say about those districts, man. When you get out and you visit those districts and you can get somebody to kind of share that knowledge and information, the background of it, the history of it, it's incredible. It really is.
It is. And there are a lot of historical places, in the country, but Jackson Ward, as we know, used to be called the Harlem of the South. So it holds a very special place in my heart, but it is a very interesting place with a lot of history.
Right. Yes. Good evening, Bolo. Come on in, everybody. We already getting this thing started because we got so much information we're going to try to share with you tonight that we're going to just go ahead and get this show rolling tonight. Hopefully we can try to keep it under 60 minutes. I don't like to drag it out too long because I know people will go there and say, man, that's a long one. I got to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. while we were down there in Jackson Ward, sir, we went by the Bojangles monument down there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and when it came back and I did a little history about him, man, he was real big time. He ended up retiring up in New York City, up that area.
Mhm.
Yep. But what he did down in the Richmond community is lasting though.
Oh, absolutely. As we were saying on the podcast, that corner where his statue is, you know, he actually took his own money to put a traffic light on that corner. So it does say a lot about him as a human being as well.
Yes, indeed. Hey, folks, you just tuning in. Come on in. Hey, I have Mr. Dennis Joyner on tonight. He's a historian. His rides are amazing, incredible. He's written all over the country. And what Mr. Joyner and I like to do, we like to find historic sites, historic markers, historic buildings, venues, and stuff like that, stuff from the past, and kind of use that as one of our methods of riding, our reason to ride. And it's truly inspiring. It's truly an inspiration to some. And I would encourage a lot to take on that challenge of doing back road riding, doing historic riding. What do you say about that, sir?
Absolutely. When you're out riding and you know, having a good time, is always good to try to learn a couple of things about, you know, history in general, and in my case, African American history in particular. So as we say, it's just another reason to ride, and it's always good to get out and learn something while you're out there enjoying the scenery.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, in fact, later on in the show, we'll talk about this book that I'm going to be writing that will help to facilitate that exact same thing.
Oh man, that's going to be awesome, folks. I didn't even know about that, man. He just dropped the nugget on me.
Exactly.
He just dropped the nugget on me. That's outstanding, sir. That's outstanding. So we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna highlight the Legacy Museum, located down in Alabama.
Yes, in Montgomery. So
Okay.
the Legacy Museum is one of the 3 sites that the Equal Justice Initiative sort of runs, and the like I said, it's three different sites: the Legacy Museum, the what I call the Lynching Memorial, but it's actually the Memorial for Peace and Justice.
Yes.
And then there is they just added this probably about 2 years ago, the Freedom Monument Sculpture Park. But we'll talk about the Legacy Museum first.
Right.
So it is a museum that talks about the African American experience in this country. It is a very well done museum. It has exhibits and different types of artifacts, relating to African American history. And one of the more interesting things about the museum is that they actually have about 8 or 10 holograms in the museum. You can really get to see someone kind of from a first person perspective tell you a story about either its slavery or Reconstruction or what have you. And I think that adds a very nice element of genuine conversation to the museum.
Yes, definitely. That interactive hologram that they have. I know they had some. I think I was in where were I? DC. I want to say DC. I was up in DC, but it's no. Black Wall Street. Wall Street. They had the interactive the barbershop. It was the barbershop. And man,
exactly.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, and to hear them talking, the conversation that they were having, it made you, it set you right in the environment of it. It puts you right in the moment.
Yeah, like you were there when these things were actually happening.
Yes. So that was a good one. And another thing about the location, the Legacy Museum, I actually got a chance to get down there and visit it before they opened. They were still doing some construction. And I pulled up on my motorcycle, and the construction guys, they kind of like, go ahead, walk the ground, just don't touch anything or disrupt anything. So I had the opportunity to go and walk the grounds before they were actually open. And so
Okay.
to see those pillars, man, to see those pillars
Yeah.
and to read the states that the incident happened. I mean, I went and found North Carolina, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I literally grew up a next county over. You know, this happened
Hmm.
in Greene County. I grew up in Pitt County. So I was like, man, you know, it really just touched me. And so I tell people, man, when you go out, take the time to stop and visit some of these places. Look at the history
Absolutely.
of it. Look at the history. Look in your own backyard, because right there in your backyard, that's probably something that you've been riding by your whole life, that you sit there and say, I never knew. I never knew that this was here.
Exactly. And you were talking about the pillars in the like I said again, I call it the Lynching Memorial.
Right.
But you know, for those who have been there, you probably can you'll agree with me, and those who you know hopefully will get a chance to visit there, that you'll prepare yourself for a very emotional experience. And it's not that there's a lot of graphic images of people being lynched or what have you, but it's just the symbolism of what those pillars stand for. And as you were saying, K Solo, when you look at the inscription on those pillars about you know how many individuals were lynched in a particular city or a particular county
Right.
across the country,
Right.
and it's a very touching and a very moving experience. So I would definitely not only say the next time you're in Montgomery, but actually make it a point to take a trip to Montgomery to experience the three sites in the Legacy Museum.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, and it's only $5 to you know, the $5 fee gets you into all three sites. There's a shuttle bus that will take you from each place. So if you want to just ride there, park your bike at the Legacy Museum, and just take the shuttle to the other two sites, I would highly recommend it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would encourage anybody. And folks, tonight is not to disrupt anybody. This is just very informative. It's very informative. We're sharing some of the sites that we've been to, some of the things that we've seen on our journeys as we've ridden across the country with you tonight. There's no point intended. This is a nugget. This is what this is. This is a nugget. And if you can pick it up and sit there and say, I want to put this in my repertoire of writing. I want to add this to my catalog of writing. I want to make this something that, hey, I seen this on the podcast with K Solo, and man, I want to go and visit some of these. I know, like Russell Brown. Good evening, Mr. Brown. How you doing? I know he gets out and he does a lot of great riding, man. Yeah. And so folks, I mean, reaching out to these other riders and saying, hey, look, you know, where's some places in this area that you've been, maybe that I can go to, or that I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the image, and not to you know keep harping on you know what may appear as negative, I guess publicity, but that image in the lower right hand corner of those three sculptures. So that monument, if you will, is called the Mothers of Gynecology, and it was created by a young lady. Her name is Michelle Browder, and there's an interesting backstory to this monument. So back in the 1840s, there was this well-known doctor, Dr. Sims, who made all these major advancements in obstetrics and gynecology. But what's not as well known, or at least what's not as well publicized, is the fact that he did all of these experiments on enslaved African American women that were on plantations around in that area.
Yes.
And again, that's not the worst part of it actually, but these women who were the subject of these experiments, they were operated on without the benefit of anesthesia.
Yes,
so that is I mean, just thinking about that, and I know for some reason, I guess that was a common idea or I guess conception.
A myth that they could tolerate pain more than others. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't give them the medication, the anesthesia to kind of numbing the pain, what case may be. I mean, it's excruciating, you know, if you go there and read about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I know a lot of strong Black women, and I was raised by one, in fact, but I can't imagine having to go through any type of surgery, especially to that degree, without any anesthesia.
Yeah.
So this doctor, he was called the father of gynecology. So the Michelle Browder, when she created this monument, if you will, she asked people to contribute scrap pieces of metal, old pieces of metal, and what she did was she melted them down to create these sculptures, because she wanted to show the beauty of the discarded and things that were thrown away, which is what she considers the sort of the plight of the African American woman. So it's some deep stuff there.
Yeah, I did not know that. Hustle Man. Yeah, I did not know that either. Hustle Man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So if you're in this monument is maybe a mile from the Legacy Museum, so they're all right there together. So if you take a trip to Montgomery, you can definitely check out all of these places, as well as other places in Montgomery, the Rosa Parks Museum and Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. So there are a lot of places in the area which are well worth a trip.
Right. And I have been sharing over for this whole month, I've been sharing a lot of my historic rise places that I've been to, sites that I've seen, trying to encourage people to say, hey, look, this is in my backyard. Let me go and check it out. Let me go visit some of these locations. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, folks. So come on in tonight, folks. We're just having a discussion about some of our rides, and our rides are pretty much going to be focused on African-American sites, historic sites, legacy sites, museums, and you've probably been to them. If you've been to some of them and you have some information that you would like to share, just comment. And who knows, maybe we might even try to get you on to kind of share your journey, your episode with us for a brief moment. We greatly appreciate it here, because we don't know everything. We've been to a lot of places, but there's still a lot of places out there that we haven't been to.
For sure.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So we're gonna continue on. Now, before we go, the picture down in the lower right. Can you see the picture down in the lower right, sir?
The lower right. You have the one on the left, the center, the pillars, and then the statue to the right. Oh yes. So that's one of the that's the third place of the Equal Justice Initiative. That is the Freedom Monument Sculpture Park, and it is an amazing place. So there are about 20 different sculptures, and it's an outdoor park. About 20 different sculptures, again, that sort of convey the African American experience. But the really cool thing about it is, you think about somebody who comes up with certain concepts to convey a particular message, which is incredible enough in and of its own right. But to actually put that concept into art and to actually create it is ultimately amazing to me. And that park has quite a few sculptures that kind of convey that message. Well worth a visit. Absolutely.
Yes. And some of the sculptures at some of these locations, we a little bit further into the episode, we're going to talk about the Whitney Plantation. Some of those sculptures are like, I'm talking, really captivating.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really,
when you
look at them and think about the artwork, and then the story behind
the story behind it, what it symbolizes, and it makes you sit there and think and wonder. I mean, just looking at a tree that's probably over 150 years old, and saying, like, that tree, that acorn, that seedling was growing back during a time. So, it makes you think.
Yeah, for sure. So,
yes, it does.
Again, I definitely highly recommend that you make a special trip to go to Montgomery to visit those 4 sites that you see in that picture. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you that.
Right. Yeah. And I know we were talking about you know, the Legacy Museum. Now, this right here is the upper picture is from the Legacy Museum as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's actually the memorial or the monument for peace and justice. Again, what I have always called the lynching memorial. It's just a bigger, wider view. You can see the pillars kind of, you know, hanging from the top. But and then I know you've seen it. That
Yes.
sculpture when you first walk into the museum of the you know, enslaved Africans in the chains or whatever. Again, a very touching and moving, piece of artwork.
Right.
But yeah, so that very top picture is just a wider view of the lynching memorial, and then in the lower, well, right below that on the left hand side. And I know, okay, so you've been there because I saw a picture that you posted for Black History Month of the in Anniston, Alabama. There you go.
There you go.
And I'm sure a lot of people are aware of the Freedom Riders who were on the mission to integrate the bus system, and what happened in Anniston where they firebombed the bus and you know, really terrorized the people that were on that bus.
Right. Now, here's one thing that I'm talking about. Sometimes we overlook history. We don't even realize history is in our backyard. I was stationed in Anniston, Alabama.
Oh.
I was stationed right there in Anniston, Alabama. And maybe due to my job, because I was a drill instructor, maybe due to my job, maybe due to my commitment, maybe due to my youth, my blindness, my unawareness, my situational awareness, I didn't even realize I rode by that place so many times. I looked at it so many times. And now I sit back and say, man, you need to slow down and smell the roses. You need to slow down a little bit and take in your surroundings, because the history, and I almost just felt ashamed of myself. I really did. I almost felt ashamed of myself that I ridden by it, probably walked by it, and not even took the time to look up and read or understand the depth of it, or just the city itself of Anniston, Alabama, and the history down there.
Right. Yeah. And like you were saying, I mean, we don't know it all, and that's the benefit of the platform that you created, is that we can share that information, and other people can share information with us about places that we, as you stated, may just be driving past or riding past and not knowing that we're riding past, you know, a piece of very significant history. So, you know, that's why we have platforms like this, and kudos to you, even though you shouldn't feel ashamed that you didn't know it at the time, but you're making up for it now. so kudos
man,
for you.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm really trying, you know, and I look back at it now, and I always refer to this. When I was in the military, when I came in, it's like I went straight to Saudi Arabia, straight to the desert. You know what I'm saying? And I was sitting out in the middle of nowhere in a foreign country, in the middle of the desert, you know, country boy. And I sit there and say, man, when I get back home, I want to find out while I'm over here. Then I had another deployment to Afghanistan. I had another deployment to Iraq. You know what I'm saying? So after I retired, you know, and got on the bike and started riding and started seeing some of these other states that I had never been in, you know what I'm saying? Because you got some people that's grown up in the same location that they were born, raised in, that never got outside of their state.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I sit there and say, man, I have to do better than that. I have to make myself more knowledgeable about a lot of the history that went on in America. Why did I join the military? What was I fighting for? What did I give 22 years of my life for? You know what I'm saying? That freedom, that freedom. So now I'm really enjoying this journey that I'm on. It's great. And then too, to be able to talk to someone like you, to be able to pick the phone up and say, hey, DJ, have you been over here? I seen this. I seen that. Have you seen this? Have you heard it? And you say, Solo, yeah, I heard of it. You know how you do. I heard of it, Solo. That's how you a hit me, man.
Yeah, you have turned me on to quite a few places that I wasn't aware of. So
Right. Hey, John, how you doing tonight? We're just in here having an informational discussion. If you can see me on Facebook, I'm not seeing Facebook come through. John, you're the first one. If you're seeing me on Facebook, give me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it because for some reason or another, I'm not broadcasting on Facebook or other social media platform. And we got to get that fixed because this is information that's need to be shared. So we're going to move on. That next location.
the Selma to Montgomery National Historic Trail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm there with my.
If you've been this, excuse me, sir. If you've been to Selma, if you've been to the bridge, if you've been to that location, and not just the bridge, go down to the little small city town of Selma. If you've been to Selma, just comment, yes, I have in the comment. Yes, I have. That's all you need to do. Yes, I have.
Yes. So yeah, that other picture with me and my ride or die there, we actually did the. So and you mentioned that it would be good to get out and explore these different places. So there is a website called the Civil Rights Trail, and I know you are familiar with it, but that trail probably has maybe 80 different places, mostly across the South, but in a lot of different places all over the country. So this Selma to Montgomery National Historic Trail was one of the places on that list. And back in, I think it was 2018, we actually took about a 10-day ride, maybe 3,000 miles to go to a lot of the different places on that Civil Rights Trail. And the Selma to Montgomery National Historic Trail was one of those. Of course, it's a national park site as well. But it's the 54 miles, as I'm sure everybody knows, the 54 miles that the marchers walked from Selma to Montgomery to protest for voting rights. So it's just another one of those places on the Civil Rights Trail. And again, I would highly recommend that you're in that area in Selma, as you said, go check out the Selma Interpretive Center right there at I guess it's the north end of the bridge, as well as the Lowndes County Interpretive Center, which is a little closer to Montgomery, but definitely two very good places to check out and get some information about the actual march.
Yes. And this was one of the pictures that I wanted to recreate. So I tried to get as close as I could to where they were actually marching on the bridge.
Okay.
And I parked my motorcycle and I took the picture. And then I kind of just like Photoshop that image in there.
You did a very good job. You got skills, my brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They taught me I was a PowerPoint ranger in the military, man. So they kind of taught me how to go back and forth with it. But the thing is, it's so powerful. Bloody Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bloody Sunday. John Lewis led over 600 marchers across the Edmund Poultice Bridge in Selma, Alabama, and faced brutal attacks by oncoming state troopers. Footage of the violence collectively shocked the nation and galvanized the fight against racial injustice. And you can see the website down there if you want to go and take a look at Bloody Sunday. They got some videos captured from there. It's pretty amazing, man. I mean, to see what they went through for rights, you know what I'm saying? For rights for all, not just but rights for all, women, everybody. You know what I'm saying? It gave everybody, the Irish, the Polish, everybody that came over that didn't have the ability to vote. It gave all of us the right to vote, man.
Absolutely. And of course, the current forces that be are, trying to eradicate what our ancestors and the folks who came before us, fought so hard, fought, bled, and died for us to have that right. But we won't let that happen because, people have sacrificed too much for that right to let it just, kind of go by the wayside. So, but like I said, Edmund Pettus Bridge and the Selma to Montgomery National Historic Trail, definitely highlights that very important era in the history of this country, actually.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Russell. Thank you for sharing that. Russell Brown just put this in a comment that the 60th anniversary
Yes.
of Bloody Sunday will be March the 6th through 9th down there in Selma, Alabama. So if you in the Alabama area, if you passing through 6th through the 9th, stop in, take in some of that history down there, and you probably hear something, meet somebody there. If you're a vlogger, if you're a blogger, or whatever the case may be, stop in, get some footage, and capture this moment in history. Share this moment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we went maybe 3 years ago. I think Kamala Harris was there, and they do a reenactment. They actually march from, I think it's Brown AME Zion Church to the bridge, and they have workshops and all types of things. So it is a very good experience. So Russell, thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah. Thank you, Russell. Thank you. All right. And down in the lower left, blue shirt.
Yes, standing beside that very important young lady there that did a great deal to integrate. Yes, to integrate busing in Montgomery, and of course that is in the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, which again is one of the places on the Civil Rights Trail. But yeah, that is a very interesting place as well.
Right. And folks, if you could see the screen, there's a web link that if you want to look up the Civil Rights Trail, get some information about it, find out the location points. It's an interactive map that'll take you all the way to Mississippi. It'll take you to Louisiana. It'll take you all over the country, and maybe in your backyard, that you can sit there and say, wow, I did not know. Well, wow, I want to take this moment to highlight it. Now, we go looking for rides. Now, you've ridden the Civil Route Trail, correct, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you find out about it? I mean, was it just, how did it come about that you wanted to ride it or just see the history of it?
Well, typically what I do, if I'm planning a ride to go somewhere to see a scenic site or whatever, I may get ideas from yourself and Russell and Scooter and folks like that. So when I'm planning my route to a particular place, I will look at kind of going on Google it basically and find out what African American sites are in the cities or states that I'm going to be passing through, and then research it that way. Because there are a lot of states that actually have either freedom trails or civil rights trails, but the Civil Rights Trail is a very good way to find out a lot of different places, and in some cases they will have links to other websites where you can get additional information.
That's right.
So, and sometimes I'll actually plan a civil rights or an African American history ride, and then I'll try to find scenic places to visit on the way. So I kind of do it both ways sometimes.
Okay. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you. Hit the like button, and everyone watching, please, by all means, hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up. Comment if you got any comments. We greatly appreciate it all. Thank you, John, for that. And I'm all over the place right now because I'm trying to work behind the scenes.
Take your time.
I'm working behind the scenes, man. You got me going. The next monuments that we see to our right.
Yeah, so I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Little Rock 9. And this is the Little Rock 9 monument, which is actually at the state capitol in Little Rock, which of course is where the Ride to Eat is going to be.
There you go.
So we'll get a chance to
hey man, we're getting plugs in everywhere.
How about that? So you'll get a chance to see that, as well as Central High School, and yeah, that was a very interesting place. You could actually kind of stand there and kind of take a picture with with those 9 brave students who integrated that high school back in the, I guess it was the 50s. So yeah, that's a very interesting, another one of those very important places that in the history of the country. Yeah.
Hey, look, folks, we're gonna take a quick break, right quick, and then we'll be right back.
Listen, man, you're watching K Solo Live, the podcast. Let me tell you something, man. If you really want to know, this is where you're gonna go, man. Shout out to my man K Solo for always tuning down, always tuning 100 down. Understand this? His writing skills ain't for everybody. But if you really want to know, man, one hell of a podcast, man, K Solo.
All right, and we're back. Thank everybody for staying with us. What Nancy say? That plum was sick. Hey, Nancy, I appreciate it. I got yours keyed up too, man. Don't worry, my brother. Thank everybody for joining us tonight. I know you're not seeing us on Facebook. If you are seeing us on Facebook, like I say, once again, give us a thumbs up. Let me know it's coming through. We're going to get this problem worked out because I want to share all this information with everybody. All right, Mr. Joyner, once again, tonight we have Mr. Dennis Joyner on from Richmond, Virginia. He was our mayor. He gave us an outstanding tour of Jackson Ward, and also he took us over to Pocahontas Island. So Pocahontas Island, let's see what we doing over there, sir.
Move around to our next stop on Pocahontas Island. So you record too. All right, so this is the Jarrett House, one of the last standing brick buildings on the house.
From the
area,
original neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah, let's see, rather sturdy.
So this is the Jarrett House, built 1819, 1820, built by John Joyner, Chesterfield Company, owned by Jarrett family. It's hard to read this. But 1879. So
Very old
do
build.
do a little homework and try to find out a little bit more history about
this building.
Yeah.
I think you did find some more information about that, didn't you, K Solo?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Man, that building has changed hands quite a few times. There've been a couple of projects to try to restore it. They've done some work. They put a new roof on it, and then it's just been stagnant. You know, the effort isn't there. The interest is there, but the effort isn't there, and I think it's all come down to funding. But it's a rich history behind it. I would encourage people that if you go over to Pocahontas Island, that you just take the moment to just kind of do your homework, research, and then go lay eyes on it yourself. Because I tell everybody, there's nothing like laying eyes on something. You can say the Golden Gate Bridge is magnificent, but until you see it for yourself, you see the wonders.
You appreciate it.
You appreciate
You don't appreciate it.
All right, sir, we're going to keep going. I know we're all over the place tonight, but hey, that's what we're going to do. That's what we are going to do. We're going to highlight a lot of our adventures and travels and journeys across this great country of ours and celebrate this rich history that we enjoy seeing.
Okay. So,
all right. So where do we pick up from? I know you were down in I can't remember the Negro League Museum.
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, Negro League's museum. So and I know you know Scooter, so we have a little group of Gold Wing riders, and we have a little ride to eat every year. Nothing close to the magnitude of what you and Reef have, but so in I think it was 2019, we met in Kansas City, Missouri. And of course, that's very close to Fort Leavenworth, which is also home of the Buffalo Soldiers Monument, which is what you see in the background in that top picture, which of course pays tribute to the famous Buffalo Soldiers in Fort Leavenworth. And also in that middle picture, I'm sure most people who saw the movie, Tyler Perry's movie, maybe a couple of months ago, the 6888. So
Yes,
they actually have a
great.
monument to that amazing group of women at Fort Leavenworth as well. I think they erected that in maybe 2018, maybe a year before we got there. So again, if you're out in that area, you can take in two pieces of important history at the same time: the Buffalo Soldiers, as well as the 6888.
Right, and the Buffalo Soldiers. That how the black soldier got that name. Not just it wasn't a name. The Indians actually gave the black soldiers that name.
Yep.
They call the black soldier Buffalo Soldiers. That stuck. I was looking at a Western the other night, and I think he was speaking in Cherokee. He was speaking in the native language. You know, subtitle, and I seen Buffalo Soldier come up. We don't like Buffalo Soldiers at the ferocity or something like that. And I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? This old Western movie. It was in black and white, by the way.
Okay.
It was black and white, but the rich history behind it. And then I was just posting another one of my posts for this month. I was up in Alaska, and I stopped at the meeting of the Dozers, where the black soldiers worked on the Alpine Highway.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
I remember that now. Yeah.
So you know, they wanted to go fight for the country. Instead, they got diverted up to Alaska, and they were given mediocre equipment. They were given, you know, not enough cold weather attire, but they persevered and they accomplished the mission. You know what I'm saying? And and it's not even a monument. It's pretty much like a bulldozer that was left there that they put a mannequin on, and they put a uniform on it. But it's there at that marker. I think it's 1029, historic marker 1029, which is mile marker 1029 of the 1,500 miles of the Alpine Highway. And there's also you go past Toke to get to it, and there's a bridge. It's dedicated to the African American soldiers that worked on the Alpine Highway up there.
How about that? Yeah.
And with 30,000, almost 30,000, 40,000 pictures in my phone, man. I went looking for it. And once again, I was struggling. I'm like, I can't find this.
Hey, that's a good problem to have with that many pictures of that many interesting places, right?
Right. Tone, my man, Tone, how you doing, sir? I'm glad you're with us tonight, Tone. You've been up there, haven't you? I think Tone, yeah, Tone
has been everywhere.
Yes, he has. Oh man, Tone, if you near your social media, man, I'm gonna shoot you something right quick. Feel free, man, if you can, just chime in, share your journey with us, because a lot of people don't know about it up there. I wish they did. I would love to get your perspective on it, man, and kind of share your knowledge about it, because, you know, it's incredible. And like you say, you got to slow down when you get up there, because it's kind of off to the cut. It's near another museum, but they do share the knowledge about the monument itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. And our last picture on here, that's you guys sitting there, go winging it.
Yeah, that's our original crew. So we are gold wing guys, or gold wing nuts, or wing nuts as we call them.
Wing nut, go to the wing ding.
Yeah.
Hey man, I don't discriminate riders, man. If you get out and ride,
Hey.
it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, we had the Harley and the Gold Wing together last Monday, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were rolling together, man. Hey man. Hey, listen, it won't no love, no hate, no nothing, man. It was all love. All
No,
love, one love.
Absolutely not. None
What's going on,
whatsoever.
Sarge? How you doing tonight, man? Thanks for joining us. We know you at work getting it in, Sarge. You probably got the earbud in, just kind of listening to us. We appreciate you, man. As always, I enjoy our conversation, my brother. Greatly appreciate you. Bolo, how you doing tonight, sir? Glad you could join us, taking a little bit of your time to just chime in. It's always great seeing you when you come across the comment line, man. Know we putting out some good information. Just love sharing it with everybody. But Mr. Joyner, we're gonna keep right on rolling. Speaking on that trip that we took down to Pocahontas Island, I want to go back to that Browns Island clip and kind of let's talk about that Brown Island trip, because there's a lot to say
the other
about
side. I think it was Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, so that he could
it.
actually
He shipped himself to freedom.
Yeah, he was in, and of course back then, it was horse and carriage and barges. So he was basically in that box for probably a week or so.
Yeah,
had a little air hose in it, and
Yep.
I mean that's a testament as to how far people will go
for their freedom.
freedom.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
it's a testament of that spirit that we have.
Right.
Absolutely.
And folks, we were on location down in Brown Island, down in Richmond, Virginia. And what we were talking about is how Brown Island got its name. And then Mr. Joyner referenced to Mr. Brown who packaged himself and mailed himself to freedom.
Yeah, and there's a little, I guess you can call it a monument right down there on Carey Street with a box with that kind of commemorates him as well.
Right.
I mean, it took a lot of courage and a lot of determination to put yourself on the box, back in the 1850s or 60s and ship yourself to freedom.
Yeah, definitely.
That takes a lot. So yeah, that's a lot of history there. And then the Emancipation statue that is also very interesting. And I was saying how ironic it is that statue is very close to where a lot of the enslaved actually came into the state of Virginia, right down the James River, and you have that statue that symbolizes freedom and what have you,
right
in that same area.
Just up the road, you said, and we had it. We highlighted, yeah.
The young lady.
Right.
So that is
Emancipation Proclamation.
That's a strong symbol there as well. And in the former capital of the Confederacy, which of course Richmond was.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Definitely. But this right here, though, man, is incredible. I wish more people would get down to Brown Island, and
it's a powerful message.
Folks, and if you have not been down to Browns Island in Richmond, Virginia, I highly encourage you to come down. Reach out to people such as Mr. Joyner and say, hey, sir, could you give me one of those tours? I'm sure he would love to just kind of share his knowledge and of his history of his city, where he grew up, the places that he's experienced, all of it. He's a historic people. So
yeah, man, it's just so much going on with the system that it's overwhelming. But hey, folks, if you like to hear Mr. Joyner just kind of narrate the approximate that monument, go check out the episode. We just did it. We did an on-site live interview, which was great. I really enjoyed doing it. I plan to do more of it. I'm hoping that somehow or another I can get Mr. Joyner to tag along with me as we go and kind of narrate, bring some more stuff to the platform. But we're going to go ahead and keep moving right along, sir. I know We're already 51 minutes into it. I try not to take this too long, but it's just so much. It's just so much.
There is, yeah, quite a bit of information, to share that we all have to share.
Yes.
But yeah, this last slide is that top picture is Eatonville, Florida, which I just found out on a road trip I took last year to go to see the Bessie Stringfield documentary down in Orlando, and ran across this town, which is another one of the towns that are very old African American towns. So that was a very interesting trip there. And in the lower left-hand corner, you were talking earlier about Green Book sites. That is the A.G. Gaston Hotel, which used to be the only hotel in Birmingham.
That's right.
Where people that look like some of us at least could stay.
You and I.
Yeah. So it's a Green Book site, and now it's a national park site.
Yeah.
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 So that's an interesting a place to visit. And then in the middle, the picture there, kind of talks about a tragic time where the home of Medgar Evers, where he was actually shot and killed in his driveway. That place is now also a national park site. Now you can actually go inside and have a lot of the furniture. It may not necessarily be the exact furniture, but the furniture of that period. So now you can actually, you were talking earlier about, how it feels to be in a place where certain things happening, like standing on the Edmund Pettus Bridge or standing outside of the bus station in Anniston.
Yes.
But visiting places like that, it does kind of give you a sense of kind of what people went through and kind of put you there at the moment that makes that experience that much more powerful.
Yes, yes. And folks, all of this you can add to your repertoire of writing. You can add this to your catalog. You can add this to your trip planning. I hear people talking about planning trips. They're going to go here, they're going to go there. And I'm like, wow, have you even realized what may be in between point A to point B?
Mm-hmm.
That may be some history to you. That may sit there and say, I did not know. Because, if you stop and take the time, I mean, just going from here to North Carolina, I can go to Washington, North Carolina, where they built the school. They built schools all over the South to kind of educate, the newly freed blacks and black youth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell everybody, every trip could be a journey. Everybody has a story to tell. Get out there and explore. Get out there, hit those back roads. Get that Green Book. And we got something in store. We got something coming up for you too, folks. You're going to be surprised. I think you're going to love it. We're working on it. But get that Green Book. Look at a couple of pages. Look at a couple. I mean, they had places in Alaska. On my research of the Dozer meeting of the Dozer, there were black settlers in Alaska during the 50s, during the 40s, 60s. That was in the community, well in the community. Do some homework, do some research. People sit there and say, I'm going to ride to Alaska. You're going to go and stick your toe into Hyder? You're going to stick your toe in the Hyder and say, oh, I done it. I got a taste of the wine. But man, go up to Anchorage, go to Fairbanks, go to Tote, go to Valdez, go to all those places around there and enjoy it. Anchorage got a lot of history, man. Anchorage, Alaska has a lot of history if you get up there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So and actually,
go ahead.
I was going to say that's a perfect segue into the last thing I want to talk about is this book that I'm trying to write. Well, actually, I have started writing. So as you were just saying, a lot of times, some of us aren't aware of all of the, sites that we may be passing by on some of our road trips. So I sort of took it upon myself to write this this book. It's kind of like a cross between a coffee table book and a reference book.
Okay.
So basically, what it's going to be is a book. I've sort of divided the country into 6 different regions, basically the Northeast, Southeast, Upper Midwest, Lower Midwest, Northwest, and Southwest.
Okay.
And then I break each of these regions down into states, and then the individual sites will be listed in the cities within those sites. So, for example, you may be planning a trip from Chicago to Daytona Bike Week. You could pick up this book and say, okay, this is the route I'm going to take. These are the states and cities I'm going to be going through, and you can just look and see, hey, these are some sites that are on the way that I might be interested in visiting. So that's the kind of the goal of this particular book. Okay. And actually, in researching the book, because I'm sure, like a lot of us, we go on road trips, we take our pictures, we put them on the computer somewhere, or in your case, you put 30,000 on your phone.
I finally downloaded them. I got on my terabyte here, my drive.
And then we just, we put them somewhere, and then we forget about, that they're there and the places that we visited.
Right.
So in writing this book, I decided, okay, I need to catalog all of these places so I can determine which of these I want to put in the book. So nice. I came up, created a spreadsheet with all these different places in it, and I didn't realize it, but between Jackie and myself, we have visited like over 800 sites, African-American sites across the country. Wow. Now, of course, I can't put all 800 of these in the book. So right. Now I'm in the process of paring down these sites, and not necessarily all the significant sites that most people know about, but some of the more little known, places like Nicodemus, Kansas, or, somewhere like that. So that's kind of my goal in writing this book. And we are just wrapping up right here, close to an hour.
Right. Yeah. No. They're gonna get 10 more minutes of this. They're gonna get 10 more minutes of this. So hold that thought. So one thing I can say that I really enjoyed was the opportunity. Hey, what's going on, DJ Effects, man? That's my graphics guy, folks. If you need some graphics done, hit up DJ Effects. He'll have you looking good, sounding good, man. He'll take good care of you. Hit him up, DJ Effects. And he's also got his podcast back up and running. Go over there and check him out. You're gonna love the content that he's putting out. Hey, he's a veteran in this game, man. He's been doing it. MC Love, man. He was doing it before I knew it was going on. But hey, before we get off this horn, get ready to wrap up this episode. We did get a chance to experience a new location together. And I didn't know that you hadn't been to it. And it was my first time. Yeah, the Whitman Plantation.
Oh, yeah.
So, folks, we had an opportunity to go to it at the last RTE. There's a lot of good information out there. This is just some footage of just walking the grounds, some of the sights that you will see when you get down there. It's incredible.
It is, absolutely.
Right.
It was. Yeah. Another reason to attend the Ride to Eat, because you always get to go to some historic sites with the Ride to Eat. Another shameless plug. But that was a very interesting place. The cemetery and the church and all the buildings there. Yeah, that was yes. Now that's a sugar cane right there. Mm-hmm. That's a sugar cane field that they have growing there to kind of show people the sugar canes at the time. Moose, how we doing? Yes, folks, man, I greatly appreciate y'all, man. I really do. For you just even sticking with it. Tonight is just kind of capturing some of the places that Mr. DJ and I have been to on our travels, celebrating and commemorating Black excellence, Black history. Mm-hmm. It was a garden, and they restored this place. They keep it up, man. It looks good. That tree there, and it's a little blurry. That tree had to be over 150 years old. Yeah, it looks like it was.
Yeah, it had to be over 100.
Church, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
had
was
to do.
just everywhere you turned in that place. That was something,
Right.
There's a book
you know,
called
just
Slave
interesting to
Slave.
see.
Yes, and this
Check the
gentleman
pictures
here,
out and look.
he shared.
Children were used to take the bricks out of the forms, and sometimes you go to some of the bricks, and some of them were still kind of soft, and you could see the children's fingerprints and handprints still inside the bricks. So people say, well, it's not kids. When you put your hands next to those fingerprints, you can see the children because they're not as big as yours. And that's what I was looking for in this building.
Right.
Interesting.
So now since I know, that's what I always check for a lot of times. And I'm sure somewhere on the building, some of these brick buildings.
Yeah, that wasn't interesting.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that was a very interesting place that we went to for the ride to eat. And that's what I love about it, man. When we do the ride to eat, we will try to find some historic locations to visit. To just kind of give us some history and background of the location that we're visiting. So the ride to eat is more than just coming together and saying, you're my social media friend. I met you. I see you. Shake hands, take pictures. But it's also an educational part to it too. So the ride to eat is dual pasted there, man. It's a dual roles. We're going to educate you. We're going to give you some knowledge. We're going to drop some nuggets on you, but we're also going to get your belly full too, man. So listen, first week in October, Sharif and I have our official ride to eat. We're going to be down in Little Rock, Arkansas. We have a Facebook page. Go over and check out the Facebook page, get the information. The hotel was sold out like a week after we posted the location. So the hotels are sold out, but there's other hotels in the area. Everybody is welcome. I mean, everybody. You could be from Mars. You guess what? You are welcome. If you drive down there in a Pinto, you're welcome. If you ride down on the Gold Wing, you're welcome. If you ride on a BMW, you're welcome. If you ride on a Harley, you're welcome. So everybody, look it up. The Reef and K Solo official ride to eat. Have a Facebook page. First weekend in October, Little Rock, Arkansas. Check it out.
It's always a great time.
Always a great time.
I've been to a couple over the years, and it's always a great time. Always.
Always a great time, man. Always a great time. DJ, I tell you, man, I greatly appreciate this opportunity to share this information with you. For us
Thank
to
you
get
for the invitation.
for us to get together, sir. I hope in the future that we can work together again to kind of bring some more information to the audience, to the people that follow me. Folks, if you've enjoyed this tonight, just give me a thumbs up, comment, great information, great whatever. We greatly appreciate it because it's let us know we're going in the right direction with the podcast. We're going to be doing some more on-site interviews, historic locations, and it all won't be just African American Black history. It's going to be, we may go to the Golden Gate Bridge and say, look at the history behind the Golden Gate Bridge. We may go to the Rosie Rivets museum and say, okay, look what happened. These women were doing when the soldiers was going overseas. Look what the women were doing. They was building airplanes and all of this and all of that. So that's where I'm taking this platform. And I appreciate you following along with me. We're only going to get better. We're only going to get better. That's all we're going to do. We're going to get better. Because why? Because it's our passion. It's what we love to do. And it's all about writing for us. And the reason why I bring you episodes like this right here is that to show you that there's other locations that you can ride to. There's more than just going point A to point B. There's more than just clubbing, because at some point in time, it happened to me. Bike parties just got bored. That's just me. It just, I'm 56 now, man. I'm like, I can't stay up to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning listening to loud music. So
You're 56, I got shoes older than you.
I knew you were going to say that. Listen at the mayor, man. That's the mayor right there. Well, sir, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience tonight as we get ready to wind this thing down?
I would just, say, get out there, explore, get out of your backyard sometime. And when you're out there, riding, on road trips, take your time, stop, smell the roses, and just stop and try to learn something along the way. Right.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Folks, I can't stress it enough. how important this has been. This is a celebration of Black Excellence Month. I won't say Black History Month. It's a celebration of excellence. That's what I'm going to start calling a celebration of excellence, because we still have a rich history in this country, and we need to celebrate it. We need to celebrate it. Everybody has a history. Everybody know where they come from. Everybody knows where they start, their origin. But the thing is, to be uprooted and come into this country and then starting new, kind of erasing where we come from and coming here, we have to celebrate from what we know. From the time the ship landed to the last one landed, you know what I'm saying? To the first one landed, to the last one landed. And we need to take it all in, and we need to keep pushing forward with it. Educate ourselves. Each one teach one.
Definitely.
And remember, Big Sarge, the Iron Elite, I can't stress it enough how important it is that we get under that banner and support that banner of the Iron Elite. We need to come around, Sarge. We need to all come. We need to make that a pilgrimage of going to the Iron Elite, because it's a celebration of us. It don't necessarily have to be a brand. It could be any brand, but the celebration of us and our rich heritage of motorcycle riding, our heritage of it, building bikes, Sugar Bear. I just did an interview with a gentleman who met Sugar Bear, knew where he came from. And that episode is coming up. Next month, I'm going to be celebrating something people ain't even thought about. I'm going to have some guests on. We're going to be talking about some subjects that's going to touch you. You're going to feel it. I guarantee you're going to feel it, because it's true, and it's going to affect you someday too. So, folks, thank you for tuning in tonight. I greatly appreciate you. I greatly appreciate my co-host, the mayor, the governor, the senator, the congressman.
Thank you.
And look, when you drop that book, sir, we're going to bring you back on.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm going to get my Oprah on.
I'm going to make the K Solo Book of the Month Club.
Oh, my goodness.
Time.
Oh, my goodness. Well, look, folks, we've enjoyed you tonight. Mr. Joyner, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, sir. I enjoyed you. I got something for you. I'll be seeing you. We'll probably break bread, do lunch down in Richmond somewhere. What is it? Where did we go to the restroom at? What is the name of her restaurant?
Kroger Spot?
Nope, not the Kroger Spot. Mama
J's.
Mama J's.
Yeah.
Shameless plug for Mama J's.
For Mama J's, yeah. Good food there.
Great food there. Delicious.
Very good food there.
Hey, I know food. Trust me. I'm a college.
If you know nothing else, you know food.
I know nothing else. I know food. Well, all right, sir. Enjoyed you. Thank you very much. I will be in touch.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care. All right, folks. I'm going to get ready to wrap this thing up. I've truly enjoyed having Mr. Joyner on with me tonight. He gives it to me. He keeps me motivated. He keeps me inspired. Yeah. And then just the knowledge that he has of the places that he visit. It's incredible. It's incredible. And some people sit there and say, well, I don't like to ride like that. I don't like to ride on the back roads. Folks, I'm telling you, that's where it's at, on the back road. The interstate was built to get you there fast. That's why the interstates are there, to cut through the little small towns, to go around them, the 295s, the 65, to go around them. Take the time to get off of them. Even if you're doing the I-10 to the end, get off, go visit some of these cities. I'm sure Houston has a lot of information, a lot of history, and go back to where you got off and continue your ride. Don't just blast to point A to point B. Take a little bit in. Folks, I've enjoyed you tonight. I greatly appreciate the one that stick with us. If you want to donate to the podcast, by all means, Cash App, $ a solo moment, become a top tier donor to help us get this platform up and running good so that we can get a stable platform. I'm not big into the graphics, not big into the claps and applauses, but the thing is, what I am into is having a steady platform so that I can bring you great content. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's the people that I bring on that it's about. Remember that. I'm just providing the platform. All right, folks, without further ado, I'm out of here. You have a good night. Stay blessed.